session so far. Life 0, the last ban from Serenity.
Yeah, showing they have no fear about any sort of a draft strat. They're not going to worry about that. So that would have been a pretty sneaky pick to go for the Life 0. Not a hero we've seen very much, but of course an old friend of the Storm Spirit for those infest bombs. Pretty good with the Brewmaster too.
5 seconds.
I do still feel like I'm kind of okay with this with Serenity. You just need to kind of find a decent laner against Storm Spirit at this point in the game. Maybe somebody that can rotate. Or rather, I kind of like the Ember that you had talked about earlier. That could be solid.
Yeah, now seeing the Storm, like Ember does. I don't know. Actually, I'm not really 100% sure on the how Ember versus Storm lane goes, but I think both of them get what they want. And then if you pick an Ember for Team Serenity and then can get away with it in the laning phase, later chain into Echo Stomp or into the arrow. Even if when he's in the air, the silencer can use a global silence and kill him after.
Yeah, and Storm and Ember are pretty similar in the fact that, like, no matter what's going on in that lane, if there's rotations coming through, they're just going to go back to the jungle. And they're going to try and keep that Storm lane safe by banning out the Huskar, but now, Big Spectre, the ultimate late game hero it feels like lately, up against the PL. So we're pretty well prepared for most phases of the game here already from both sides.
Well, I can see Mirana, ET lane doing really well against Spectre at the moment, though. I'm kind of worried about that.
Yeah, just break even in mid, I think. And then PL is a strong enough laner. I think he can deal with the pressure that's going to be coming his way. He can doppelganger off, you know, most of the slows and everything that would be thrown at him. I still like Ember.
I still like Ember, too. And then like PL versus Spectre in the super late game, like PL with the Silver Edge can do really well against Spectre, and then with level 25 talents like Radiance, from my past experience, I don't think Spectre is good enough against PL. Obviously, there are like good heroes, Jakiro or Panda to help him, but just looking at those two heroes alone, I'm not sure.
Perhaps in a little bit in favor of PL.
It does feel like the fight execution looks like very easy for OpTic right now, though. Like, if you get into that mid to late game, you just haunt, you have this vision, Storm has a clear target to jump, it gives Brewmaster a great target, like he's going to see that hero he needs to prioritize in the engagement, blink, clap. So I really like that they went for the Huskar ban, because we're talking about giving Storm a decent game, just make sure this Huskar doesn't get him out of control, and, well, A+, well done, the Ember will arrive here, and this looks like quite the brawly, scrappy game as expected.
Yeah, there we have it. All 10 heroes selected. As you guys have mentioned, Ember going to be that last pickup for Serenity, going up against that Storm Spirit. Well, as we're getting ready for this match, we're going to have another fresh look at this draft. Agent BSJ, come on in. Let us know what your thoughts.
I think this game's going to stem completely from the mid lane. Both teams, their pace setter, the Storm Spirit as well as the Ember Spirit, the heroes that are kind of responsible for getting things done. Yeah, you have the team fight across both teams from all of the other heroes, but both teams rely on those two heroes to get things done. So I feel like however the lane goes mid between the two players, I think it's a very skill-based matchup. Will dictate a lot about the pace of this game. And I honestly think we'll decide who takes the game. But if you have to ask me, I think that the PL will have very little impact in this game. Storm Spirit plus Spectre, I think he's going to get caught out a lot in the early game because at that point he's still vulnerable and they have the tools to catch him. Unlike earlier when we saw OG, VGJ did not have the ability to kill the PL early to mid game when he's the most fragile.
All right, so a little bit of a different take on the PL here and also how the spirits are going to match up against each other. Well, thank you very much, BSJ. That does wrap it up for the draft in Game 1 of this matchup between OpTic Gaming and Team Serenity. And to bring you the action, it's going to be ODPixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much, Joe Randy. We're down in the lower bracket. OpTic Gaming versus Serenity in a best of 3. Two very exciting teams. If any of you, of course, have been watching these teams through the group stage, they've been giving us fantastic performances. Serenity as well in particular. There's some players on this lineup that you really have to watch out for, such as in that middle lane, you know, on this Ember Spirit, what we saw is Lina. He's coming in with the Ember Spirit. It was sort of predicted by the panel. They seem to sort of like that finisher to the draft, but as BSJ said, you know, how's it going to sort of work with a PL thrown into the mix? Is it going to pay off?
Both teams look like they're focusing it to make sure. Oh, that's all right, we're up to a great start.
I love it.
His screen froze.
They tipped him so hard. His screen it's broken. So hopefully we'll be able to get that one fixed.
I'm really curious.
Oh, I like this. Look, see, I told you, you got to watch out for CYD. You know, CNC dropping the hello. He's a bit of a fanboy. You got to respect CYD.
I got to talk to Quinn a little bit. Apparently, these guys have been playing against each other quite a lot in 1v1s. They've been practicing versus each other.
And how's it going in the 1v1s?
It's been fairly even. He said ZYD is a very strong mid laner.
You've got to respect ZYD, you really do.
Just to keep that clean. So I like what BSJ was saying. I think the Storm matchup versus the Ember, I think it can go both ways. I think it's still a little bit Storm favored, at least in that laning aspect, but rotations can come in. The Ember has easier kill potential to threaten onto the Storm from those rotations. And the other player that I really want to always look out for when I'm watching Serenity is this man on the Elder. PYW. When he played these little bit of different support heroes like Tiny, he took over the game.
Yeah, oh yeah, Tiny, like the Nyx Assassin as well, something that was sort of bringing in, as you say, so these heroes in this position that we don't see too frequently picked, and Elder Titan's certainly fitting that definition. We'll see how he does this game. I mean, in terms of sort of being a good game for the ET overall, is it in your mind? Is there a lot of ways that PYW can sort of set up and sort of stop how OpTic Gaming is going to want to take these fights with the big stomps?
I agree with what BSJ was saying, how the Ember Spirit's going to have to enable the Elder Titan. Because landing stomps just without any type of anything to first set it up is quite difficult. But a chain is exactly what you need in order to follow up for Elder Titan. And it's a great combo between the two, because the Elder Titan amplifies everything for the Ember Spirit. You know, if you're next to them, it's going to amplify your physical. If you're from far away just with your spirit down, it's going to amplify the magical of the Ember Spirit. I am really looking forward to see how this game plays out, though. How can 33 do versus the Silencer in particular? Because we've seen a lot of these, you know, the straight-up initiators versus this counter-initiate just have such a hard time in the overall aspect of the game.
In terms of runes, it looks like both sides are... Oh no, in fact, there we go. Okay, OpTic. Are able to get 3 of them. Very nice start there. They're able to get themselves over on the bottom, get both of them down there. So we'll see.
One really good thing I think for OpTic in this game, because like when we saw the Silencer yesterday versus like that Magnus, let's say, you know, Yang had a really tough time because he was the one who had just forced the initiations, and it was just the global would come up naturally. The thing OpTic has for them is they have an easy way to get vision of that Silencer to start the fights. Haunt gets popped, then we can have the Brewmaster follow up afterwards, and then Storm can pick and choose his targets. The vision aspect is going to be pretty nice for them, but Serenity also has great vision that they can get from that Elder Titan.
See how much pressure the two of them can put on top. Zai on that Vengeful Spirit backing up 33's Brewmaster. CJ Silent Sounds, GGG, PL, another sort of hero player combination that I feel like we've seen a lot. I feel like that's probably the hero he's played the most here at this TI GGG. And he's had a lot of PL games.
I think I ran into him in pubs playing some PL every game as well.
Definitely seems to be his top pick when it comes as the sort of core heroes he wants to be playing.
Other fun things about the matchups, I guess you could say, is Spectre versus the PL. It's like March was saying, that matchup can go to a point where the PL can take over, but overall Spectre has a good way of knowing which the real PL is, right? You got your dagger on him, can be very obnoxious throughout the fights. YW, a decent amount of harassment.
In terms of sort of CS, it's actually Jin Q at the moment, falling behind the most, only finding himself a couple on the bottom lane on the Mirana.
Yeah, I think this lane's really important for them too. They want to be able to put pressure onto Pycat, but right now, not really able to do so.
Yeah, Pycat is farming absolutely fine so far off the back of the first few waves. The waves will push in towards Serenity's tower.
Yeah, that's the great thing about having like a hero like Jakiro, who's just this beefcake right in front of you to tank the brunt of the damage. You see, PPD actually went for a ring of protection because he knows he's going to be getting poked and prodded by this Mirana over and over again. So he can just sustain through those hits. And with the dual breath, I think March also mentioned that one, is slowing the attack speed of the Elder Titan. You hit hard, but you hit slow.
Looking at the mid lane at the moment, pretty much dead even. Top lane, Zai could be in trouble. He'll put the Fairy Fire, the Curse Time to take him down, but he's got the stick charges as well. Now 33 looking towards GGG. He's trying to walk himself away through the tree line, but 33, one more hit will do it, and there he has it with the crit. 33 finding first blood on that top lane, as Zai sort of baiting in the action and then being able to have that burst heal, catching Serenity off guard and setting up 33 to find the kill.
CG, XCJ. Gets gone on.
Another kill for this dual lane. 33 and Zai having a fantastic time on this aggressive dual lane. The farm, of course, as well for 33. Perfect, second highest in the CS. Well, now he's at the top. 14 for 5 on the last hits and denies. It's going to be a very good start to 33's Brewmaster game.
That's really threatening. If the Silencer steps up at all, we'll just die to the Venge and Brew. And now that they've got this level advantage, I'm concerned for GGG up here.
Here in the mid lane at the moment, CCNC 17 for 3 against the 13 for 1, so starting to break ahead of ZYD's Ember Spirit.
ZYD also got a DD rune and still unable to do much versus Storm. Kind of as expected, you know, the Remnant is really powerful until the Ember in particular hits level 5 for that level 3 flint.
As you can see, just sort of with the wave of terror and the right clicks from Zai, it really is enough for him to sort of zone out these two heroes. As you say, whistle that level advantage.
He's just standing there facing two people.
They're struggling with him. It's given all the space in the world for 33 to stay in the lane, deal with the creep wave, soak in the farm, get that sort of split XP as well, so he can propel himself towards what could potentially be quite an early level 6 in a dual lane for the Brewmaster. As OpTic certainly seeming to coming out on top of these 3 lanes. All 3 of them going pretty nicely for them. The mid lane's closed though, and ZYD moving in onto CCNC, not quite level 6. He does pop, verify the mango, and ZYD will hold back.
Went for the 2-1-2 build. I kept bottom, and she gets
cute. Very nicely done there with a quick leap forward to find the angle. As Serenity will get themselves their first kill in this game. And a big 1-2, knocking Pycat out of that bottom lane, who was having a pretty good time on the Spectre. So nice to see the Serenity are able to step it up and start to get away with the aggression that they would have hoped for when they drafted this dual lane on the offensive.
Yep, it was as soon as PPD went to go pull, they actually were able to find out. Pycat, and now
set up again, indeed, PYW finds the stomp onto PPD, sets up perfectly for the arrow from Xingqiu. It's going to be another kill down it for Serenity.
It's gone for a different, what we used to see is on a lot of these Elder Titans, you have the tips, of course.
The tip game is on point here in this match, and top lane Zai being chased by GGG, the curse upon him. GGG find the vision, he hasn't got enough mana for another Spirit Lance, so Zai will be fine.
He was trying to hide, there is a ward there though, but as 33 walks up, he's able to push GGG away.
GGG should be fine, he's got the doppelganger. And 33 indeed can't quite dive underneath the tower as of yet. But he's going to get close to the point where he can, as he's still level 5, GGG on the PL level 3. So a 2-level difference between the two cores in this top lane.
So I was mentioning the PYW went for the 2-and-stop build. We haven't seen so much Elder Titan, but traditionally lately we've been seeing 2 points in the Astral early on so you can walk up and hit. But because he's dealing with that Jakiro pressure, he just wants to be able to set up those arrow combos with XI and Q. Very smart adaptation to the lane. You know, there's 1 KD advantage already for OpTic, and with their lineup, I mean, a Storm and a Spectre, great position for them.
Absolutely, if they get ahead from the start, it's going to be very hard to play against Into, and a nice stun and a deny of them with double damage rune there from Zai.
Painful.
Top lane, 33. Starting to play a bit more aggressive. He's hit the level 6, he's got the primal split, he's got the stick charges as well if he wants to use it.
They're level 3 and 33 is level 6.
I mean, they're going straight in with a magic missile from Zai, turning towards XCJ. XCJ just gets beaten down. This top lane, very hard for them to play, but at the same time down upon him, Pycat's also struggling. They find the arrow connection, a few punches from PYW takes down the Pycat Spectre. Top lane 33 looking to get in deep, close and personal to GGG as he jukes his way around the tree line. 33 just looking pretty much for the clap into the primal split if he can go for it, but GGG will be fine for now. Mid lane as well, CCNC getting very low there as ZYD tried to make a go upon him. As CCNC had to use, by the looks of it, all of his mana to zip back to safety.
It was a triple remnant commit from ZYD, so they do have some time if they want to try to set up ganks on this Ember Spirit. They could be under pressure, and the dagger might be enough.
CCNC gets in, he gets the touch, can he get another? He can! CCNC! With a straight up outplay there, I don't think ZYD expected that, seeing as how low CCNC's mana was, but he gets away just enough mana there for the 2 zips.
It was really smart by Pycat. He actually ported mid and filled the bottle for CCNC.
And top lane, GGG tries to TP out, but the primal split just comes out straight away. He'll try and doppel, but Zai's there as well to hunt down the PL, and this top lane just goes from worse to worse. Same time down bottom, they're still getting kills here, Serenity. Jump forward onto PPD, and Xingqiu finds another. So both of these side lanes sort of counteracting each other. Obviously, overall, Pycat Spectre is still doing slightly better than that top lane, but they're finding kills, 5-4, and still so 1k lead for OpTic.
You don't want this Brewmaster to have such a great head start, though. CCNC will be okay.
Yeah, we'll zip back before the curse kicks in.
Yeah, dodge the... Actually, still gets by the damage. But yeah, 33. But this Brewmaster gets very farmed. We saw what he did there. Sure, it's very early, so the PL illusions aren't very strong, but your Brewmaster, you can just use your AoE Dispel, and it just kills all the PL. You'll know exactly which one the real PL is when you kill all those illusions like that every time.
Yeah, he's going to be absolutely terrifying. He's saving up the money at the moment. Do you think he will just go... I was going to say, does he go for the Midas? No, he's going to start just straight up building the auras, building up the resistance as well.
Dominator.
The Dominator.
He could actually do some cool stuff in this game with the Dominator.
We've seen what he can do before. Remember in the Enigma game?
Like if he gets the Perch Creep versus the Silencer, he can remove Global off himself. But yeah, in the Enigma game in particular, he's done. He just loves this.
I mean, he's a bit of a micro god. We know he is fantastic on any sort of the micro heroes, and yeah, getting sort of any sort of item timing like this is going to be pretty incredible for 33, as he has had a beautiful lane top.
And they put a lot of pressure with it too. GGG is level 5, not really close to level 6, while PyCat has just hit 6 already. So they can look to get involved with that haunt.
CCNC still leading the way in that middle lane.
Up top.
See them make a
dodge
go.
Stun. So I tried to stun from the fog, but
down bottom again.
Fast.
PYW finds the stomp. Xinqiu's arrow will be blocked, but he still leads forward with the starfall. Does he have enough damage to take that PyCat? He does 3 HP! PyCat survives, and now CCNC's in with the counterplay. So it's forward for PYW, but they don't have detection out there in that area, so PYW is fine. ZYD's coming with a rotation and takes down PPD. CCNC and PyCat having to back away, but CCNC's out of mana. ZYD getting under the tower, has to put the stick and get himself back out of range. Remnants to safety. But reactions there from both mids. Serenity come out on top. Top lane. They're going to pop with the horn here. PyCat seeing if he can get himself back out on the map and look to get himself involved, but doesn't look like he'll be able to find the target he would have hoped for. The Ember was very low, but looks like PyCat didn't want to commit. CCNC will find Xinqiu. He's got that point in the vortex, starts to drag him in. Xinqiu turning. PYW will be the new focus, but CCNC has to hold back. He's already used all the mana.
A regen for Xinqiu, how lovely.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
33 is definitely going to be the problem in this game. Yeah, for Serenity.
And there we have it. So Helm,
this tower already.
Helm into the hood.
Yep. As
I mentioned, so just the amount of regen, the amount of beef that this guy's going to have, and as you say, sort of the potential for plays with that very early Helm pickup. It's going to be nasty, as that's a tier 1 tower taken there on that top lane.
He's got so many things he can actually do with the Bruce Blade. It's like we were mentioning, just the Dispel versus the PL, but also the Dispel versus Ember Spirit early. You remove that Flame Guard instantly. It can be quite threatening.
We are still sort of seeing the repercussions of that top lane. GGG still struggling to sort of catch back up. He's having to resort to the jungle. Very low in terms of CS. He needs time. We have seen GGG make recoveries before, though, on his Phantom Lancer. So we do certainly have to sort of keep our eyes on that space as he develops.
They've got the heroes to make the space for him too, right? They've got Ember and Mirana, who are off to a decent start, so they can put the pressure on with some 3 or 4 man rotations to base. But I don't think 33 is going to really alleviate too much of the top lane.
See Zai, CCNC looking for the smoke movement. GGG up top, he's just getting doped by 33. 33 going straight in, pops the primal split. Looks to go in, he's already used the doppelganger. GGG's just dead straight up. 33 pulling him, and backups there as well for OpTic as they look towards PYW. He can't get the stomp off. Double kill for CCNC. ZYD comes in with the remnants. They pop the global silence. They're looking towards his vengeful spirit. Zai falling pretty low, jump off for Xinqiu. They get Zai, but now PPD turns in with the macro pie down on ZYD. 3 dead on Serenity. CCNC chasing for more. Xinqiu's got the melee setup with the dagger. PyCat finds the 4th. OpTic stepping up the pace, and 11 minutes in, fighting behind where was a tier 2 tower, but they managed to get that as well.
What a quick collapse coming out from OpTic there too. 33 just constantly putting pressure on this lane with his creep, with his dominator. He was going to get GGG by himself, but then with the follow-up rotations, easy quick kills. Serenity already 3k behind versus the Spectre Storm Spirit lineup. And they use Global.
We'll see the replay here again, as you said at the start. Just the fact that 33 was getting away with this, diving in on his own, bullying GGG, being able to take him down. CCNC comes in for the kill secure, and then it was sort of a 1 after 1 getting sent in by Serenity, and it was always going to be hard. They tried to rely on the global silence, but that didn't save them. They're back in the game. Maybe they can find something now. They look towards 33. He hasn't got the primal split. He's still pretty beefy though. With the tech, with that Helm, with that 12.3 HP regen, he's able to pretty much walk off the curses, and they just can't kill that Brewmaster.
And now he's going to have a full hood on top of his level 10 talent, where he takes the 200 health. Just really wanted to be that beefy frontline for his team.
So far ahead in net worth as well, that Brewmaster. 6.1k on 33.
Yeah. 4-0-4. Majority of that action, like we said, was happening in that top lane. I also part.
Got to try and do something Serenity to slow it down.
They're not really looking for any aggressive moves. I even see XI and Q. He's jungling. He wants to finish up his Dragonlance before. They're actually trying to look at any fights for OpTic.
Just a quick tickle down to the Chikira. Things to follow up for now.
They're not really looking for making any plays. Just giving OpTic a lot of freedom on the map.
At any sort of rate, this pace of the game is only going to favor the Spectre. Pycat getting more and more space, and now the rest of his team, they're looking to set up some action for him. See if they can find something to get him involved with the Horn.
There's a global CYD mid though.
They're leading with the Vortex, so they have to change something. The Ice Path does catch him. He has the Flame Guard out, Sleight of Fist, and the Remnant's there. So ZYD's fine. Top lane, Pycat getting got on a little bit by GGG, but of course, at the moment, he doesn't really possess much of a threat on his own with the lack of items.
Look at 33, sitting on 29.2 HP regen. He'll just tank the tower.
Now with the evasion that he has, he is really looking just to be indestructible at the moment on this Brewmaster.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
It's OpTic. They're the ones on the hunt. They even throw the scan out. They know where GGG is. It's gonna have to port out. But maybe with one of their first item pickups, then they'll start getting a little more aggressive on Serenity. But at this pace, OpTic is quite happy.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
ZYD himself once again in the mid lane. Big confident with XCJ and PYW behind him. The Ice Path comes through. Moonlight Shadow straight away from Xingqiu to keep his teammates fine in the middle lane. They do have sentries down though, OpTic, so good vision and preparation for if these sort of fights do kick off with the Moonlight Shadow up. But they'll back off both teams. Serenity, if they can take the chance to avoid 5v5s at this stage, they certainly will. They still need time for sort of GGG to build up his first item, get that Diffusal Blade out, get the Maelstrom done on ZYD, so they have this sort of early game damage spike so they can deal with some of OpTic Gaming's cores.
They've got the Dragonlance finished up on XIQ. They're looking to try to make a play. They'll run into 33.
He is one of the hardest heroes to make a play upon. They do get the global silence, stopping the primal split. Splitter's going to be there to follow up. Have they got the damage to bring him down? They get the arrow. That's a good stun. Jump in. Xingqiu's got the burst. They'll get the big kill, but now OpTic with the counterplay. The Horn comes out. PPD with the slows onto Serenity. They found the silencer. XCJ on the side. CCC zip into the middle of all three of them. Looking to drag PYW in with the Vortex Ice Path from PPD. Catches the two of them. Double kill for CCNC as OpTic. They're not done yet. They're looking for more. The slow onto Xingqiu. The magic missile from Zai. They surround the Mirana. Xingqiu trying to run away, but the passive procs from CCNC enough to slow him down. A few more right clicks will do it, and CCNC finds it. Triple kill on the Storm. As OpTic take another successful fight. Zai is there with a wraparound, but there's no backup, so ZYD will be okay.
They had to commit literally everything in order to kill 33 before he gets the split. It allows just all of OpTic to run rampant. Even though it's into a shrine, they're able to just take the fight under because they had to commit Splitter, Global Silence, everything in order to kill that incredibly tanky Brewmaster.
And they will have the Maelstrom on ZYD for the next fight. So that extra bit of potential in terms of damage output, but as you say here, once again, they can do it, but it takes so long.
Watch XIQ, he keeps stopping his arrow because the Ancient kept walking toward them. It's actually pretty unfortunate for a bit, but at least got the kill on the Brew.
Ember strength. Now.
Of course, on 33 this time it will be the blink so that he can jump forward and start those fights. And almost level 12 too, so level 2 split. A lot more team.
Bottom tower is under attack.
As OpTic, they have their lanes in a good position, so they're looking to join 3-3. They know that they're pretty confident if they're taking a fight right now. Even if Haunt is on cooldown, they know Global's down, they know that they are still at edge.
Do you like sort of Pycat's decision in terms of the item build in the Spectre game, not sort of the Vanguard, the Blade Mail, just going straight treads into the full Manta style?
Bottom tower is under attack.
I think he wants to be able to join the fight also, because when you're playing versus Silencer, you pop Haunt, and if the Global comes out, you have to find a way to be able to Haunt into the fight. So if you have to use your Manta in that situation, it kind of stinks, but you know, you want to be involved inside of the game with your team. And we've been seeing the adaptation of, we've seen a lot of Manta rushes, Manta Blade Mills. OpTic, they smoke, they CGG.
Straight in CCNC, look at the Vortex, and he's got the control. Straight on the right target, Moonlight Shadow will not save it.
He used the Doppel to farm, to build up illusion, try to do the...
And OpTic really on a roll now. Their two cores very much ahead. GGG still needing more time to catch up.
They're going in push pit with that kill. They're very confident.
Well, the DD damage on CCNC to help out that little bit, and obviously with the Venge in their lineup, so it's going to be nice and easy. 33 more than happy to tank Roshan as well.
Dies so fast. Fortunate DD rune. But that was
There we have it. Serenity were smoked up and heading in the general direction, but weren't quite able to make a move quick enough.
Storm with Aegis this early in the game, pretty devastating.
CYD?
Also, since he has a Yule Scepter already.
There we have it.
The arrow.
Easily dodged the arrow. The Stomp as well will be duped out with a quick zip up to the high ground.
He just built the Yules right before they went for that rush. Love this build versus Silencer as well as versus Ember Spirit. You're always able to dodge those type of combinations. That's, whoa, that is a 92% on win probability right now according to Dota Plus. But Dota Plus, we've learned, it loves Spectre. It absolutely adores
it. always favors Spectre by quite some time, but also for many other reasons in this game you can understand. But there was always a chance with Team Serenity. We've seen them come back from some pretty rough beginnings. So we have to sort of keep eyes on, as I say, the fact that they have this Ember, this PL, they can scale well. They can sort of put off OpTic Gaming from pushing the high ground at too early of a stage.
It's such a unique ward there coming out from OpTic, watching this whole triangle of farm that they expect Serenity to be using since they are at that deficit. Tried to de-ward it where they couldn't find it. They see top two. They've got vision of both of those shrines where you kind of think Serenity would try to TP and make some moves around the map, especially because OpTic, they're pushing out their lanes very, very well.
Stupendous.
Dire's bottom tower is under
CYD sort of realizing the pace of the game, just going straight for the BKB out to the Maelstrom.
Yeah, went for boots of travel in between. He's going to have to rely and split push a bit.
Do go forward.
Quite Ice Bath.
Now got Andy with Vortex as well into the Magic Missile. They love the control. That CYD gone.
The max Ice Bath.
He's got to be careful of that setup, as the follow-up will always be there at the moment from OpTic. Especially on his own, no way for his teammates to disrupt that sort of combo coming out from OpTic Gaming's lineup. And now OpTic, they are at a point where they're up onto the high ground, 20 minutes in, starting to knock onto the tier 3s of Team Serenity.
They've got Aegis and they've got a Storm Spirit with still nearly full mana. They want to force as much reaction as possible. They've still got their Bruce Split too.
CYD still down for 16 seconds.
They force everybody back. Now they can go back to pushing out their side lanes.
As the game goes on, as you can see, just Xingqiu really sort of keeping up with the pace of OpTic Gaming's course, and he is doing so. He's only about 300 behind CCNC Storm Spirit, regardless of sort of the way that the game's been going as an overall.
He's been doing a lot of farming on the Mirana. He actually has the highest last hits in the game.
See the scan from Serenity, confirming that OpTic's there on the high ground. They'll send the Spirit up, they'll try for the chains onto 33, but CYD not able to quite get the combo. And even if he did, pretty much the hardest target for them to go on at the moment, Serenity, this Brewmaster.
And it's a high ground versus an Aegis Storm. Bit of a risk, even if they are smoked up. All of OpTic grouped together, except for, Pycat, of course. Playing a bit unknown, and has actually queued up the game. Since he's versus that Phantom Lancer, it does make sense to go for it eventually.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
And with the way that the game is going, I'm sadly just feeling that he can get away with this.
This is the move that Serenity needs to start doing. It's trying to hunt Pycat when he's alone, because they know OpTic's probably going to be playing as 3 or 4 and allowing Pycat to farm separated from the rest of the team.
It's hard though, because he has that Manta stuff.
Yeah, it's very close to his own
They
tower.
try for an arrow, but Pycat's already backing up. It was always going to be hard to find that sort of connection.
They have to just go for an arrow, because they can't go for some searing chain play, like you said, because he has the Manta finished already. As OpTic, the rest of them are grouped up. They are smoked for tier 2. Nearly a Maelstrom finished up for CCNC, but UIW stepped up too far.
Right in, immediately crit down there by the Brewmaster. UIW gone for the 25 seconds of this defense that they are going to have to put together if OpTic push on to the tier 2 tower. Looks like OpTic are still happy with just playing it safe, taking it easy. They know that they've got the edge. They do not want to throw it away.
This is very scary times for Serenity.
CCNC just goes straight in. He's been relying on the Aegis. He does still have that. And well on the way to having his Orchid complete, in fact, on top of the Kyra and the Yule Scepter.
When he's got the Orchid, that's what I was mentioning, is it's very, very terrifying for Serenity, because they've got easy ways to get vision of the backlines with the Haunt, and also anybody who's split pushing on the sides of the map. Ember Spirit doesn't have the BKB yet, PL's not close to a Manta. They can get picked off by CCNC and a Haunt very easily, or just CCNC in a lot of situations.
Xingqiu does have his Manta style complete, so at least for himself, he'll have an answer to CCNC jumping upon him.
It's one that can survive it. The rest of them still at a bit of a risk, but you see OpTic also now, they're building a lot of these tanky items that we've been saying from before. They've got, I believe, the pipe finished up on 33, and Zai looks like he's going for a Crimson Guard. So that's going to negate a lot of the damage that Serenity is hoping to get soon. But they are looking for a smoke of their own. They want to try to catch something. They need to start catching something at least versus OpTic, because they've been reacting to all of OpTic's moves.
They will reveal themselves there as they jump onto the illusion, at least with the Ember Spirit with ZYD.
Got some ward vision they can play around though. They see the Storm Spirit right now farming around the shrine area.
And might find Zai. ZYD straight in, finds the chains, into the arrow. Zai will be left behind. Serenity able to get the support pick off. Nothing more for now. As 33 backs up.
Lotus Orb will be next for 33 to remove that global. They're looking to take fights, like we said. They want to play around their ward vision. Right now they do see 3 of OpTic.
OpTic scanning this one out though. They know that this move is coming in straight up. They're prepared with the dust immediately on to PYW. There's in for the global silence comes out though. PPD gets taken down. They've lost another here on OpTic. 33 ready to go there with the primal split. Look towards PYW. The Horde coming out as well from Bycat as they go straight away on top of the silence to get XCJ. ZYD renders away, but there's the chase. CCNC's got mana still in the pot to play with. The stun from the primal split. Bruling comes out and a triple kill's picked up for Bycat.
Oh, Bycat got every kill, huh? That is going to be pretty much the relic finished up now too.
It's certainly going to be close. 3,300 gold now in Bycat's bank.
They had GGG farming bottom. They didn't have XIQ there. I mean, as soon as the global comes out, 33 is just standing in the midst of him. He's like, you guys can't kill me. I'm going to get my split off no matter what. As soon as that split goes off, the fight is impossible for Serenity.
Queuing up the BKB himself, 33 after the pipe. And at that point, it really is going to be impossible to stop him from ulting in the team fights. And
he did switch. He was known for Lotus originally. Yep. But yeah, they get PPD, which is great, but CCNC has that Yule Scepter finished up, and then as soon as Haunt comes out, Split comes out, all of Serenity has to panic and run away. XIQ just bails. He's like, see you guys, I gotta go push out some lanes.
ZYD just unable to get away as well. Did still have one more Remnant to place out. Couldn't quite get it off before CCNC closed the gap upon him. As he needs that BKB to really have a chance against the stun and control from the Storm Spirit. So Yule Scepter is picked up by PYW now, so himself and the Elder Titan will have that extra sort of chance to get the spells out and to sort of set up if they find sort of the pickoffs. But at the moment, OpTic Gaming, as we've seen it, just be playing very much as a unit. Very hard for Serenity to sort of find those pickoff plays, and you can sort of feel that they realize that themselves. There's a lot of the time, like that last fight, it has been the PL and the Mirana farming elsewhere, as XCJ gets caught out by the swap. Stomp does come out onto the 3 of them, but not in time to save the silencer.
Playing support in this game on the side of Serenity it's really rough. The Elder Titan did great in the laning phase bottom, but now it's getting to that point where you can't really do anything as either of these heroes versus Spectre and Storm Spirit. They just pop a Haunt, they know exactly where you are, and Storm Spirit will just go wild in the game.
And what about this this Mirana build, so the Manta Diffusal build?
I saw the Diffusal being built. I wonder if he's going to change it up.
It's certainly not the common one, at the moment at least. We've seen it in the past. It used to be, I think, pretty much on the majority of Agi carries. You know, you get the Manta and Diffusal for the sort of the straight raw damage output.
Yeah, you still do a decent amount of damage, and the mana burn can start to add up.
But it's gonna mean he's playing this game sort of without the Maelstrom, without the BKB. And obviously still other things are going to come into factor. If he pops the Manta and then the Drunken Haze comes out, that missed chance is still going to be there, making it hard for him to really get the damage on 33. Mm-hmm. But as you say, maybe just the mana burn in itself will play out quite nicely. Obviously heroes like 33's Brewmaster, very low mana pool. If they can get one stun onto him, drain that mana, he's unlikely to be able to get out the ultimate. Unless he's got the one charges.
I think that might be the big thing that they're trying to do. But yeah, the one charges are something they're going to have to be looking at there. Because if they can control him and then just burn his mana down, then they can kind of ignore the Brew a little bit in the fight if he doesn't have that primal split mana. They do now have the Manta style finished on GG. He's also has a little bit more freedom to split up around the map. But constantly we see Serenity. They're under the gun, they're under the pressure as the lanes are pushing it onto their side, except for that bottom wave.
I mean, it's like Serenity, they certainly are under pressure, but at the same time, I feel like OpTic Gaming has had sort of like a 5k lead for the last 10 minutes. It's not grown any bigger. Serenity have been able to sort of keep on par with the farm on their course, as we are seeing Xingqiu, GGG get closer and closer to that of Pycat and CCNC.
Yeah, they're not hemorrhaging a lot of kills. They are losing a bit in that experience department because they are staying a little bit more as a unit. But they're not allowing, OpTic to pull so far ahead in the gold.
They're leveling it out a bit. The question is if they are going to be able to swing it around, which, as we know, is always infinitely harder against a lineup with a Spectre that is, of course, in a fantastic place. Pycat rocking the Radiance on top of the Manta style and ready to party. Haunt is ready. We'll see the movement here come out from Serenity, but the sentries are down. So unlikely that Serenity is going to be able to make any sort of jump, and they realize this. They need to put the board down, go for the D-Ward. Roshan, of course, up as well. So both teams are going to be very interested around this area. OpTic Gaming, as we've seen, can take the Rosh very quickly with Avenge and the Brewmaster.
CCNC wants to farm the BKB before this next fight. If he has BKB, he has full freedom to just jump all the way toward that back line, as they have that limited disable. They don't really have anything that's instant, unless he gets caught by an arrow. But they are still all playing together, Serenity.
Up top, CCNC looks to zip it onto GGG. GGG pops the Manta and CCNC zips straight out. Doesn't want to mess. Yeah, just wants to grab that bouncy rune.
Big items all going to be picked up at the same time on OpTic. On Serenity, they did just pick up the Diffusal and almost the BKB on the Ember Spirit, so that'll give them a little bit more of a power spike. But OpTic definitely getting the bigger ones, you know, the BKB on the Storm Spirit. I believe it's the Crimson Guard finished pretty much for the Venge too. Negate a lot of that damage. Constantly, I mean, the Silencer and the Elder Titan kind of have to hold hands in this game behind other people too, like we were mentioning, just because of the Haunt and the Storm Spirit. If you are split up at all in this game on the side of Serenity, you will more than likely get picked.
So they find that here with the smoke. OpTic will show themselves there, cleaning out the mid wave with the Remnant.
They know where Serenity is.
Gonna zip straight in with the Horn as well to get the vision. They're straight on top of XCJ. No chance for a global silence to come out. Now they look towards GGG. The Magpie down. GGG cannot escape as they quickly get 2 kills. And the plan there all along, as you mentioned earlier, is just using this Haunt for the vision, no hesitation. As soon as CCNC gets eyes on XCJ Silencer, he's straight in, so no global can come out.
And they knew where Serenity was positioned too, because the Sentry Ward in the mid lane. Serenity put one down, they killed OpTic Sentry, and then walked up onto that high ground over here, so.
They're buying back on GGG. They want to try and contest this Roshan. It's falling low though. Can they do it in time though? The Ice Bomb, it's out onto the Ember. Z1, he just gets burnt it down. He's dead for 50. GGG's headed into the pit. He's tried to fight up against 33, has burnt the mana of 33, but he needs backup. He has to doppelganger out. It's too dangerous here in the pit. He bought back for this, as now Pycat looks to chase with the dagger. GGG will be able to Manta it off. Pycat still looking towards him. Split from PYW comes through the arrow. They're actually in the pit here. Can Serenity get away with this? Roshan's gonna fall, but Zai gets the Aegis. OpTic get the kill, get the Aegis. 33 just back in on top of Xingqiu, as OpTic will continue to hold the lead and grow it even greater in this game. 10k advantage now, and an Aegis in Zai's hands as well, despite Serenity's best attempts there to try and fight around the pit.
They tried so hard to at least get the Aegis, deny that away from OpTic, but unable to. GGG gets forced away from that pit from the Avenge as well as the Spectre. And then Zai just walks up, gets the last hit, and the Aegis for his team. 1, 2, and 17 on this bench.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
As you can see there on the KDA, some fantastic numbers on the scoreboard there for OpTic. CCNC 13-0-6 on his Storm Spirit today. An absolutely incredible performance for him to be bringing out in the lower bracket at Nova here at TIX.
This Ice Path is perfectly connecting the control to knock out ZYD, who just had gotten pretty much that BKB. He was one of their big damage dealers for this fight. If he was there, it could have made a huge difference for them, but Since he spent his gold, doesn't have the buyback, and GGG did use the buyback there, doesn't want to die because they could just lose the game if he does go down. Has to play a little bit more defensive.
Looked like they may have a chance in grabbing it here. Nice to the jump in, but again, yeah, some of the BPD Shakira players been very disruptive as bam, they find Xingqiu, they come in with the horn on top of the Mirana, they're going to look for PYW as well. He'll use himself up in the air, but he's surrounded, double kill for Pycat.
Oh, game just looks so hard for them now.
And of course,
it's already looked different, but
Pycat still got the cheese, he was able to pick that up as well, the last rush. OpTic now ready to pressure into the base. Again, we'll see if they can get away with the tier 3 this time. Xingqiu does have buyback on the Mirana available. PYW down for 20 seconds though on his Elder Titan. One of the biggest ways that they can look to sort of set up a fight.
How can they kill any of the heroes on OpTic though? How can they go through a Crimson Guard as well as a pipe when they're this far behind?
As OpTic will claim the mid-melee racks, they'll look towards the ranged as well. As Serenity have no way of stopping this sort of push. Especially not with about the full 5-man. As Xingqiu still sits at the sidelines holding on to that buyback. Realizes that even with himself buying back there, unlikely that they can defend that middle set of racks.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
A 16k behind and 16k behind a Spectre lineup, as we keep saying.
I don't know how they can take these straight up engagements. I'm trying to think about it. I just think they need numbers advantage. They need to try to take somebody out before the fight starts, but it's so difficult versus OpTic.
Shadows take us.
If they can look to maybe even take out PPD before the fights, I mean, the Ice Pass have been proving to be quite an obnoxious element for them. But even then, they have so much they have to climb through.
I'm over here.
That's a full Shiva's Guard also for CCNC. Level 23 on the Storm Spirit.
Still is. It's been a sad game for the Silencer as well. XCJ 35 minutes and only 8 intelligence stolen.
400 net worth as well. Hasn't even hit the level 15 for that juicy GPM talent.
.33, sort of the man that really started this whole sort of momentum off. The way that him and Zai were able to win that top lane as hard as they were. Just have really made sort of the majority of this game, Serenity having to play with just PL, GGG in full recovery mode.
Yeah, they had no back, but they clipped the wave. GGG was still trying to farm it.
Talking about the man, there he is, getting jumped on again, and he's dead for 80 seconds. Buyback unavailable. As OpTic have just absolutely controlled this PL through and through. GGG just unable to play his game in this match. Now OpTic setting up to bring this top lane round and look to go into the base as Team Serenity once again with the knowledge safe that there will not be a PL turning up to this fight for a full minute.
Pycat's got a heart, he's still got the cheese. Well, he can pick up the heart. He's got the cheese. I mean, they're ready to just go for this push here. The Moonlight Shadow comes out, but without a PL, they can still just slow it down, but taking a fight, way too difficult.
Where is the damage? Their sort of best hopes is PYW setting up some sort of 5-man Earth Splitter.
They need a 5-man Earth Splitter.
That's what they need at this stage.
And I'm still not too sure if it's going to be able to dish out enough damage through OpTic.
The change control, Horn will come out from Pycat straight away. Zai looks for the swap back on PYW. They're heading straight back to the fountain. XCJ's not going to be able to get back safely though. Leave us PYW. ZYD, is he even going to survive? He will. He does get back. But they lose both of the supports there, Serenity. OpTic take the tier 3 tower top. They move onto the barracks. As Serenity just holding themselves inside of the fountain. They'll have GGG back in the game. But without the Silencer and the Elder Titan, it's going to be pretty much impossible to set up a successful fight as OpTic.
They're still healthy. They're not going to stop. They're going to take this last Rax.
Moving the parade down to the bottom lane, looking for that final tier 3 and set of Rax to take away from Serenity.
We've got the last hurrah.
Xingqiu jumps forward, quickly puts the man to get himself out of the macro pipe. Primal Split has been popped here by 33. ZYD is still trying to poke around with him, but Pycat, with the Crimson Guard buff given to him and the fact that he has that Han, he's pretty much invincible. Straight in onto GGG. GGG down once again for 70. They'll claim the racks. OpTic getting the mega creeps out. As they certainly look to have done it here in this game one. Earth Splitter will come out onto Pycat, but it'll be earned up Starting to heal back up, and GG will be called. They'll tap out Serenity of this game one, as OpTic looking absolutely on point here in terms of performance, individual as well. There's some of the KDAs in this game. Absolutely.